On February 15th, Texans experienced something few of us have seen in our lifetimes. The Lone Star State covered in inches of snow, and children across Texas were overjoyed at the sight of white, fluffy flakes falling from the sky, especially 11-year-old Christian Pineda. That Monday, he went outside and joyfully played in the snow, sliding back and forth. It was the first time in his young life that he'd been able to play in snow. And it was his last. After an exciting day, Christian went inside his family's mobile home, but as was the case for millions of us, there was no power. He went to bed that night dressed in 2 layers of clothes under a pile of blankets. His stepfather even checked on him at 2 o'clock in the morning and added another blanket for good measure. But later that day, when it was time for Christian to wake up, his body was lifeless. This perfectly healthy child, whose parents say had no medical conditions, died inside a cold home. Imagine for a moment his last moments on earth. His story is one of dozens. We still don't know how many people across this state died because of failed leadership, but we do know for certain this didn't have to happen that way it did. And to top it off, while people were clinging to life, the folks in charge were pointing fingers, blaming wind turbines, flying to Mexico, not taking responsibility. Instead, we get this person blaming that person who blames this person, and we're all left wondering who the hell is in charge. I report on politics. I know what is written and said and who is supposed to be in charge. But as I sat, just like you, in the cold, trying to keep my infant warm in a house with no power and no water, debating if my family should brave the ice-covered roads to try and get to safety, or believe the public officials and electric companies who told us this was temporary and my power would be back soon, it became painstakingly clear that there is a lack of leadership on so many levels. I will tell you what I do know. You and I can fix this. No, not in the short term, but soon. You and I can watch the people we elected. We can see how they vote on legislation to fix this, look into who's lining their pockets, and if we do not like what we find, we can vote them out. At the end of the day, we live in a democracy, so it is up to us to hold the powerful accountable. Yes, it will take time out of your day to stay informed, but I think we owe that much to Christian and the dozens of others whose leaders failed them.